Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missing Gear. Hell of a race, Matt. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missing Gear. Hell of a race, Matt. Hell of a race.
Dylan,
Loved it.
It was a good race. I
A
want to save
lot of crashes. Tony Stewart would be proud.
I do. I want to talk about the double yellow line rule. However,
oh God, don't. Oh,
I don't want to get started on that. Let's save that for next week. How'd your pick do, Dylan?
so I mean, not great, but I still cracked a beer.
Yeah.
When I saw him go out.
Yeah.
Because he took Kyle with him. Now, he didn't kill Kyle, but...
I know.
He really started that day off bad for Kyle. I just had to make the Amarola pick, because if Amarola wins one, it's going to be this week. He obviously didn't, because he's Eric Amarola.
I think I had Brad. He was looking good.
He was. He had the best car in the field, in my opinion.
Fully agree with that. We were texting back and forth, and I feel
him and Logano. And I had taken Penske, and Blaney, just by merely surviving for most of the day, did pretty well. But
Logano did pretty. Logano was a good pick. He was there most of the day.
Oh yeah, he was gonna win or wreck trying,
and he did.
Yeah, naturally.
Well, so we're gonna skip the NASCAR talk, and I want to quick before we totally skip. I want to talk about our Roval picks because we have to pick for who's gonna win this week. Mm-hmm. You obviously get to go first. I'm still heading the points. So who are you picking?
It's fucking bullshit. But so I'm thinking round of 8 is when I have to get really aggressive because I'm 9 points back from you.
Remember, 15 for the champion, I believe. 15.
Yep, but also just 4 drivers in that championship round, and there's a 50% chance that neither one of our drivers get it. So, I don't know. I'm not going to get too aggressive with the picks this week. I'm going to diversify. I'm going to try to pick up a little bit. So I'm going to start with my Xfinity pick.
Yep.
Just because it's a little one-off. Cendric.
Cendric.
Because if he doesn't get it going, he's going to lose this championship.
Yep. And I'm picking Briscoe again.
Of course you are. Although Allmendinger is in.
Oh no, I'm picking Briscoe. I'm sticking with Briscoe. Sticking with Briscoe. Okay.
Eat some fucking crow, or even better, Brandon Jones wins. But anyway, so I'm gonna take Ford's for the Roval just to be safe. Ford, it's the year of Ford. It feels like. For my team, Hendrick. Got Bowman in a big spot. I think he'll do well at the Roval. Yep. Elliott's won the last 3 road courses.
Yep.
So he's phenomenal. Jimmy, if a non-playoff winner is going to win the Roval, it would be Jimmy. I think. I'm hoping. I'm praying. He almost did it that one year.
Is that your pick, Dylan?
No.
I was going to say, that's ballsy. No. I don't think I'm picking Jimmy.
I mean, William Byron, fuck that guy. He's probably helping Chad Knaus all week pack up.
He really is. So, okay, who are you picking?
Also, side note, just before we get that, I know we're getting off topic, but you know what? I don't care. So Chad Knaus is going to be the vice president of competition.
Yes.
What does that job entail? Does he just go and say, hey, Willie B, compete harder? Hey, Chase Elliott.
Do better.
Chase Elliott. Couldn't get a top 5, had to settle for 6? Come on. Get your fucking shit together. What is that?
I don't know, Dylan. I have no idea what he's going to do. I feel like he's just going to go off into the abyss, and I'm never going to hear from Chad Knaus again. And I'll just be like, okay, I guess that just is what it is. I don't know what they're going to do.
Is that like how, who's the other guy at Apple besides Steve Jobs? How Woz? Is that how Woz is still
Woz?
Technically an Apple employee, but it's literally an honorary title? Is this what happens when, a couple years ago, the Washington Redskins, Bruce Allen was the general manager, and Bruce Allen was pretty awful general manager, but there's no fucking way that they could get rid of George Allen's kid. So they moved him to an executive role.
Sure.
AKA, they got him the fuck out of the football aspect.
Got him the fuck out of there.
He's running concessions.
See, there you go.
So yeah,
that could be Chad Knaus.
It's when
maybe it wasn't a promotion.
It's when they don't perform to how you want, but they don't fuck up enough to fire them, and it's right in the middle.
So okay, Dylan,
Like
who
George
the fuck
Costanza.
who the fuck are you picking? You got to get to your pick.
So, like, okay, so this would be a week where I would typically take a Kyle Busch. Just because, he's back against the wall. He's got to get shit going. It's elimination or not. He's not winning one of these final 4 races. So, like, he's got to win Charlotte.
Yeah.
This is it. But I fucking hate him.
I know you do, Dylan. Tell me something that we don't agree.
Yes. Like
Tell
I
me something we
like
don't
I
both agree
texted
with
you
here,
that
because we
Eric
both hate
Cartman
him.
licking up the tears, saying,
Yes,
"Oh,
you did, and that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah." But I'm going with his teammate Martin Truex Jr.
MTJ, honestly, shit, that's a great pick.
He's
Great
got to
pick.
win a playoff
Excellent
race. He
pick.
can't finish a season
Excellent
with
pick.
one
I'm
win.
not in any way gonna hate on that. Well,
I don't even think he can finish it with 2 because I think I'm going to be picking him for a round of 8 races too.
You probably could be.
But
so I'm
he's gotta win
picking
one.
Toyota, Stuart Haas, and I'm obviously picking Chase Elliott.
wow, that was fast.
Yeah, just get right to it, Dylan. I knew you gave me so much time. I'm sitting there like I already know what I want, Dylan. Just fucking get to the point right here. So we're gonna skip the rest of the racing for this week. We have Sam back, 3rd episode. Sam, thank you for coming back, not twice, but a 3rd time. I don't know how you're still friends with us. I
He's
actually
the
have a
patron saint of the podcast. He made our logo. He showed up for that All-Star race pod.
He did.
He
He
is
also went to the Road America race, which
I
was
did.
great.
You guys get to relate with the people who actually know and like NASCAR, and I'm the person who's like in the sidelines who like I just came because my cousin asked me to, and
Yeah.
I like to.
So,
drink.
what were your overall thoughts of that race experience? This was, what, 2 months ago now? I mean, what?
It was a while ago. Surprisingly, I actually had fun. Not that I expected to not have fun.
Yeah.
I expected to have a fairly just average time of just I go there, I show up and whatever, but the race was actually pretty interesting to watch, like when they're actually racing and they
Oh, yeah.
yes. The only
Wasn't
thing that
those-
stunk was
The rain delay.
Yes.
Too. The rain delay
The-
really blew.
horrible cautions at the end of the stages.
Oh, also true.
And
There's just so
the rain
dragged
delays.
out. I agree. Well, the cool thing was they did throw on rain tires,
Yes.
which I will say was pretty cool. But the rain delay did suck. I mean, no way gonna sugarcoat that because it just sucks.
the atmosphere was cool. I mean, the population kind of was not my.
No, I wasn't
No,
your
those-
speed at all.
Those
Listen,
people
it's not
sitting
even,
in the back of us.
It's not even my speed. All right, I don't like
It's not mine
the
either.
stereotypical NASCAR fan. All right,
But you know
I try
what?
to break the mold here. All right,
I didn't. Nobody came up to me and fucked with me, and so you know what? They can do them as long as people
That's a
aren't
good point.
messing with me.
Yeah.
People
Live
can
and
live their
let
life.
live.
They do what they want. Some people may look at me and say like, fuck that guy
Yeah.
for how he dresses
Yeah.
or whatever, which is cool. Everybody can
So-
do their own thing, but
I can relate your situation for that race to 2015. It was the PGA Championship down at Whistling Straits.
Okay.
I went with Chris and Derek, who are in Chris's dad, Mr. Brian, big golf fans,
Huge,
right?
yeah.
All right, so I don't golf, right? I barely know how the fuck this even works, right?
right.
I can make it happen, but in the end, I have no idea. So, we went. It was Championship Sunday, and I was expecting kind of like what you said, an average day. It'll just be really another day. And I
Something
had
to do on a Saturday.
it was a Sunday,
Sunday. My bad.
Championship Sunday. But it was honestly an absolute blast. I had so much fun doing that. I would probably do it again. I tried to get tickets for the Ryder Cup. Actually, didn't. I got the lottery, but then the way it worked, they gave more people the lottery than they actually sold tickets, and it backfired on them, and I couldn't get tickets. Which in the end, it was fine because I got fucking rescheduled anyway.
Right.
But that's what I can compare it to, and I mean, I still had fun. It's kind of like one of those one-off events that's like, I don't really watch golf, but I feel like this will still be a fun thing to do with my friends, and it was.
Golf is very easy to hate if you don't at least give it a shot. Because I used to also hate golf because I was always huge into football. And so when I first was offered to try golf, I was like, why would I ever do that? And it was just at a simple driving range, right? So it wasn't even the actual
Mhm.
like
Not even
sport.
a golf course, yeah.
So I'm playing like absolute dog shit, right? And after about 30 minutes of doing it, some random guy like showed me like what better form was going to be. And so I hit it just right for the first time, right? After being there for like 30 minutes, I hit it just right and actually had a good shot. And then that's when it like changed and it was like, okay, that actually felt good.
Yeah.
Like if I can do that again, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then you start doing it more and more, and then you try the actual sport, and you actually start playing it, and it gets fun when you're with your bros or whoever, and you're like pulling a few back and just kind of hanging out. And it's nice outside. And it's like it gets pretty fun. Whereas like
Drinking beer.
Drinking some brews.
you kind of get to go at your own pace too.
You do.
Like,
And I've gone
fast-paced.
golfing with Derek and Chris a lot, and I don't golf. All right, I just go and hang out because one, I like being outside, and two, it's just a lot of times when they go, it's usually a nice day out, and I'll just caddy, and it's just fun to go hang out really because you hang. I mean, a full round of 18 is usually like 3 hours, 3.5, I think.
beautiful courses too. So like,
Really, yeah. I mean, probably 60% of them. Some of them can be real shitholes.
yeah,
but
you pay for what you get essentially.
You
Like
really
the higher
couple
the
by
price, the
my
better
house,
the course,
yeah.
and like it is worth paying a little bit
Some
higher.
of them aren't that great, but it was a lot of fun. I think if I actually had more than, if I had a lot of time devoted to it, I would do it. I would probably take it up and try to learn it. And I mentioned that to Derek recently. Like, dude, I'd go play golf, but like I don't have 3 hours to give every other day. Like I can't just go leave work for 3 hours
It
to
is
play
a-
golf.
it's
It's
a-
an investment.
It's a high barrier to entry, and that's what like, if your friend tells you to play a game on your iPhone that's free, there's no barrier to entry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can just do it.
You do it.
Whereas golf, you have to like
It's like
buy clubs or rent them.
$800 for
which is-
clubs, and then it's like $700 a year for the membership.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to get the membership, but usually if you go enough, the membership is totally worth
worth
it.
it. Yeah.
And obviously the membership varies on where you go. I mean, we're not talking like a Green Bay Country Club here. That's like so many thousands of dollars. We're talking like county, which is I think like $650 or $700 a year. But if you're somebody who golfs every day like Derek, it makes it worth it. Now, I obviously don't do that shit because I don't have time. I will say one thing that, looking back at this whole COVID situation, one thing that I've lacked this summer and the first summer in, oh shit, I'm 23 now. 18 years, I've not played soccer.
Wow.
I know.
Jeez.
Take that fact for a second, because I've been.
That's wild.
I know, and it's.
Wow.
I haven't even realized how much I've missed it until I'm like, holy shit, I haven't played soccer at all this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been so busy with other stuff, with duplex stuff and work and girlfriend and all this other shit that I've like just forgot that it's even a thing. Because the one nice thing about having like a structured schedule with it is like I make time for it. Like, okay, I'm committing to this. I will find a way to do it. Right? Like I'm gonna make it work. Where, I mean, I can go play whenever I want, but I just have so many other thoughts on my mind that like playing soccer is like it's the pyramid of needs, right? Like that's like the last thing I do because I have so much other shit I gotta do.
And since you do have so much other stuff to do, you want to decompress. And even though soccer's fun, it's not really a form of decompressing.
Yeah,
It's a form of just exercise, which will put you,
it is. No, I
more
agree.
on you. And it's like you need time to rest. Like,
I know. Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
I mean,
But that was just one thing that I thought about. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even really think about it. Like, I've had so much other stuff going on that I've just forgot that I miss playing it.
cats are going crazy. This
Typical.
is random, but Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I already asked Dylan this question earlier, but did you listen to MGK's new album, Tickets to My Downfall?
I have not. I will be honest. The only new music I've listened to in the last probably year has been Logic's album.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
That's fair. That is still a good album, and I do bump it on a normal
I
basis.
do almost every day, yeah.
because
But
it is
I've not.
actually great. But
I've not.
Didn't even know he dropped an album.
it's his last one.
The last one he retired. I have been watching him on Twitch every now and then.
I do as well.
He streams like 3 or 4 times a week, and I mean, I just don't have time. But so every now and then I kind of click on it and it's cool. Or I'll catch the YouTube clips.
And a lot of
like
times
his
it's
logic.
A lot of times it's later at night too, so it's like
Yeah,
and
it depends what he's playing too, because there's some games he plays and I'm like, whatever. But I watched when he played Among Us.
Yeah,
I've been big into that game, man. That's been so much fun.
A lot of people are, and
I felt like I needed to jump on the bandwagon because like you play a lot of Call of Duty, right?
I do.
And
if I told you how much
I
time
know
I have,
it's probably like how many months. All right, I know it's a lot, but what I'm trying to get at is you're really good at it because you've played there's a big commitment of time allotted to be good at Call of Duty.
Right.
To be good at Among Us takes probably like 20 minutes of watching YouTube videos to know what you need to do, and you're decent at it, right? So to me, I could commit to that because I didn't feel like complete dog shit when I played it. Because if I whipped on Call of Duty now, I would get absolutely toasted. And it's just not fun for me, right? It just wouldn't be as fun. Mm-hmm. Now, I could even play with you or Ben or I don't know who else plays COD. I have no idea. Josh probably. Yeah. And I could probably have fun, but if you guys aren't online, if I played by myself, I would I'd hate it. I'd be absolutely dog shit.
I haven't played Among Us yet, but I've watched people play it, and it does look fun, okay? But look fun and play fun is different for me.
I agree.
And I'll tell you why I know I won't like the game. It's because in the game, you can, quote unquote, die from stuff you can't control. Okay, so like you can be.
Okay.
Somebody can pick
that's a
you
good
out,
point.
Okay.
Yep, and kill you.
And this is gonna sound like a very serial killer aspect of, or what do you call it? I don't even know. But I hate like dying in video games from stuff I can't control, and that's why I like Call of Duty. One, because I'm good at it, but I can literally in Call of Duty decide whether I'm gonna do good in a game or bad in a game.
Yeah.
Because I have so much playtime under my belt.
Right.
That I can decide that.
The fuck? Cat fight?
Just going at it.
Cat fight?
You guys live together. Chill.
Yeah, come
They
on.
do it. They do it all the time.
Share the toothbrush, damn it.
Did you ever play Fall Guys?
Actually, you shouldn't share toothbrushes.
No, actually, that was another one that got really big popular that I watched some people play, and I considered getting into it, and then shit hit the fan, and then after that I didn't. But I have watched people play it. That looked like a game that I would enjoy playing.
It's one of those games where.
But I don't know how much. And to go back to your point, I don't know how much of that you can control. The games I've watched, it felt like you could probably control about 80% of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't ever played it. This is from watching other people play it, because I generally did like watching other people play it. I watched some, but not a lot. But I don't know how much of that you could.
So it would be.
Control.
It would be in comparison if you and like 10 of your friends all got together and like did an obstacle course, but wore like drunk goggles the entire time. And let's say Dylan beats you, okay?
Yep.
Like
It
you're probably not going to be mad since you have drunk goggles on.
Mm-hmm.
So once you accept like, okay, I have drunk goggles while I'm doing this obstacle course, it's not too bad. Same with Fall Guys, where it's like a lot of times you lose. It's not because it's your fault. It's just because like the game is very not blotchy. It's just clumsy. Everybody's kind of like a ragdoll in the game.
Yeah.
That's just the game itself, you know. Like, you can't really get mad at a game for being a game because it's like almost like an art where it's just it is what it is. You know, you can't.
It is what it is.
You can't change it to
It
something
is
it's
what
not.
it is.
Matt, it's you and Josh playing NBA 2K.
Oh, I forgot we did that. That was the first and probably only game of 2K I'll ever play in the next like 4
It's so fun
years.
to watch though.
In the next like 4 years, I'm sitting there like, guys, how do I like shoot?
And honestly, you
I
were
didn't-
evenly matched. You and Josh are both equally horrible at it.
Oh, I
so
fully
it was
agree.
competitive until the end.
I knew I was gonna lose, but you know what? I gave him my best chance. All right, listen. I feel like the only game I would have any remote chance of winning, if you, Dylan, anybody came up and said we're gonna play a game, it would be like FIFA. And I have not played FIFA in like 5 years. Nah, yeah, like probably 4 or 5, 4 or 3 years.
Sport matters. It
Oh, I
does.
agree with
Yeah.
that, but knowing the controls also matters.
Yeah, you're right. They do.
And I feel like I'd go into that and I'd be like, shit. So like, what do I do?
So it does go both ways. So you, as soon as you know the controls, then it's like, okay, game on, because I know the game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And then I get
And
it.
you can
Somebody who doesn't know the sport isn't going to know things like offsides and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're gonna keep
yeah.
getting
I felt like that was
penalized.
definitely a disadvantage when I played 2K because I don't know basketball as good as I should because I don't know. I don't watch basketball. I really don't. I know LeBron James, and that's about it.
LeBron
The
James. The greatest basketball player of all time.
Are we talking about LeBron James?
I don't know about that.
He is the greatest
I mean,
He
basketball
is.
player of all time.
Just watch him get another ring tomorrow night. I think they play tomorrow night.
Well, I hope he does. I'm a
mean,
Lakers fan.
What is
but,
he at?
like,
What is he at? 4 then?
he's-
5? I don't
He's at
know.
4.
He
He's
would
at
be-
4.
He'd be at 4.
He's also lost 5 times in the finals too.
Okay, I'll give you that. However,
He lost to Dirk Nowitzki in the finals.
Dirk is a good.
Dirk is a decent. All right, I'll defend Dirk.
All right, but if LeBron is going to be the greatest basketball player of all time, he cannot, under any circumstances, ever lose a game like that. Ever lose a series. A series. He lost a series of games to Dirk Nowitzki. You want to know who's on that team with Dirk?
Who?
Jason
Who,
Terry.
Dylan? Who?
JJ Barea.
Also,
JJ Barea.
He was. Both of those players were good. Okay.
Devin Williams.
Okay, Devin Williams sucked, but like.
Well, of course. Yeah,
I mean-
there's Devin fucking Williams. It starts over JJ Barea.
LeBron James plays against athletes, okay? Michael Jordan
Athletes,
played against
Dylan.
people who made this water bottle, Dylan.
Athletes, Dylan.
Sam, you're just
Next
I'll
time
back
I need-
Sam on
Sam,
this. Fully agree.
I'm just
LeBron's
saying-
great.
you're not dumb. You're ignorant.
I'm not ignorant.
Not
I'm
ignorant.
being
Larry
For
Bird
real.
and Magic Johnson are 2 of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Magic Johnson is the most overrated basketball player of all time. He wasn't
God!
he wasn't terrible. He was just very overrated.
What's wrong with
He
you?
was he was the first breed of tall point guards. Nobody knew how to defend him. Everybody else was 5'6" guarding him. You're like,
Sentence, Dylan. Sentence. Formulate words. Dictionary.
you know, Dylan, I'll call up Muggsy Bogues and say,
He's 5'3". Great MJ story. He's 5'3". Great MJ story with Muggsy Bogues.
When
I
he
think it was
started a
1997. And I think that they were playing in the play. What are you? Matt, let me finish
Continue.
my story.
Sorry,
I think it was like
sorry.
1997, and they're playing like a series in the playoffs.
Somebody say playoffs?
Playoffs. And Muggsy was with the Hornets, and Michael was guarding him, and apparently Michael just backed off and told him, "Shoot it, midget."
Come on.
And Muggsy
Come on.
like went, and I think he shot it, and I think he missed, and I think that destroyed his confidence. And you can statistically tell that that was the down point of his career, and everything after just gradually kept getting worse for him. I read it in MJ's like biography,
That's
but you
hilarious.
can statistically trace that game and that moment to the downward spiral of Muggsy Bogues.
I remember in NBA 2K,
What a
Muggsy
stat.
Bogues was 5'3", but the smallest player you could create was like 5'5" in that game. So like Muggsy was smaller than any player you could create. So I used to go back into that and like into his like actual like roster and statistics, and then I would turn up his dunking all the way. And so like, I'd run around with like little Muggsy Bogues just like dunking the
Dunking on
basketball,
kids.
and it was just funny because like
That is
Like if you ever played SmackDown versus Raw and you have like Rey Mysterio and you lift
I
Big
did not
Show.
play that. I'm sorry.
didn't?
Dylan, this is all you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like okay, wrestling's fucking stupid, but like the video games,
Oh, I'm sure they're a good time.
kind of fire. Just keep hitting people
Hold
with
on.
chairs
If we're
because you can
talking-
still
hold
hit
on.
them with chairs in
Hold
video
on.
games.
Time out. I just want to interject here real quick. Underrated. I'll say sports video game. You could debate that, but maybe not even underrated. I just loved SSX. Did you guys
What
play
is
Is
that?
that the
SSX?
snowboarding game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
remember
much
that.
fun.
Never.
Oh
even-
my
It-
god, a fantastic game. It was kind of like, I felt like it was kind of like Tony Hawk's
Yep.
game, where you pretty
good
much
way
just
to
go down
explain it.
slope and just freestyle the whole time.
That's a really good way to explain it.
And it was so much fun. Oh, I love that game.
I bought I bought a game for the PlayStation 4, and it was also a snowboarding game, and it's called something else. I don't know. It's like Downhill Slope or something like that. I saw it was like $10 on the store, so I'm like, I'll give it a shot, right? I buy it, and I expect it to be like SSX, but it wasn't. This game is more of like...
Was it like
they
racing?
Yeah, well, they made it like
Maybe?
almost like a campaign where they're like,
Oh.
like these are missions that you have to do, and it's like nobody wants to do fucking missions.
Nobody wants to.
Everybody wants to just free world,
free world. That's
roll
all you
around
want to do.
doing
Yep.
tricks and shit, and
Yeah.
then
I liked how SSX did it because you could free world. They did like time trials, and then they did like a points thing. Like so, any trick would be a points, and I loved how they did that. And it just reminded me of Tony Hawk because that was very similar type of game. You could just freestyle the whole time and tricks and all that stuff, and that was a lot of fun to try to learn all the tricks with it. Now that took a lot of time, and I didn't know all of them, but that was a lot of fun.
it's especially if it's something that like normally you don't or can't do in real life. So like skateboarding is one of those things where most people don't skateboard. I'm sure a lot of people would, if given the opportunity, they'd want to know how to skateboard or like be good at it, even if they don't necessarily like it. It would just be cool to be good at it. Tony Hawk is one of those games where it's like you can kind of feel like you're in it skateboarding without actually being.
You're busting your kneecaps.
You're not the one who's taking the downfall for that, or like you get to just sit in your chair, drink Mountain Dew, eat Doritos, and like listen to music.
Live the skateboard lifestyle without any of the rest.
Without actually, honestly, that's not a bad thing.
It's a dream. It's kind of the dream.
I do want to talk about with you, Dylan, entertainment value. Okay, I think we talked about it briefly before.
All right.
So we go to a movie, and the movie is $10 for the ticket. Okay, so let's just say
11 actually.
Okay, let's say
$11.50. They keep
For ticket?
just raping us.
Oh, for sure.
Raking us over the coals.
But
we talked
Sam,
about
Sam and I have talked about this before too. I know exactly where you're going with this.
And-
Karen.
Oh yeah. Okay. Continue.
People are very quick to hate on video games nowadays for putting in microtransactions into their game. But I think they should. They would be stupid not to. And that's because of the entertainment value you actually get from the game. I think it's pretty incredible that you can pay $60 for a video game. And myself personally, the Call of Duty that came out last October, up until this October, so 1 year.
Oh my god, I don't even want to know.
I have 24 days of playtime on it, guys.
Basically have a month.
An entire month out of it, 1/12 of my entire year was spent in game playing this game. That's not
Play a
counting
game of NASCAR Heat a week.
That's not any other games I'm playing. Okay. And so
Well, and I know
the
that's
entertainment value I got out of it is, if you do the math, it's worth almost $2,000. I spent like, including microtransactions, I spent about $100 on the game. So if anything, like, I'm really getting the better value. I mean, it's different per person because not everybody's going to play 24 days.
Let me interject quick. I did the math here real quick. So you had 576 hours about playing the game. Divide that by $60. Assuming you just spent $60.
Assuming, yep.
That would be 3.5 cents an hour. Or actually, I think that'd be more like $3 an hour. No, that'd be 3.5 cents an hour. Let me double check my math. Hold on, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, I think that's right. Like, unreal.
Yeah. And you see a movie.
Maybe more like 10 cents.
If a movie is an hour and a half and it's $11,
you're getting your value out of that at that point. Way getting it out of it. But I honestly compare if I want to buy anything to a movie, because I see it as all right. A movie's like, what do we say? $11, $12.
$11.
Let's say 12.
You want concessions? You're
It's
talking like
it's actually
25.
they raised it now. Now it's 15. When we went last time, it was 15.
Was it 15?
It
I
was
don't even
15
remember.
per
You
ticket.
swiped
They just
right.
raised it though.
15.
That's after COVID.
Well, they're trying to survive.
Yeah,
Really,
that's fair.
It's super sad, but they're trying to survive.
So $7.50 an hour for entertainment. I judge almost everything off of that. All right, listen, I don't play a lot of video games, but I do still play Clash regularly.
That's
and I don't
cool.
even want to
I
say
got no
regularly.
Clash.
Pretty much religious.
I tried playing
I
Clash
still-
after
I
everybody
still play
stopped.
all the time. All right, so I deem it as you can buy the gold pass every month for $5, and it's worth it to me to buy it because I'm like, how much am I going to get out of this? If I play for 40 minutes, it's worth it to me. I usually play in a month, I'd say 5 to 6 hours spread out throughout the month.
Right.
And to me, that's worth it.
Definitely.
For $5.
$5? Hell yeah.
And I'm also, the older I've gotten, the older it's now like, all right, I make adult money. And I want to, before you make money, but this is like, okay, I make adult money now. So it's like, I can buy stupid shit and it's just gonna,
adult
it
money
is what it
with
is.
no children.
No, really, that's it. And I'm like, honestly, in the end, what's $5? It's like one less drink going out is really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And a lot of that is to get quick onto that. I know somehow I always come back to this, but a lot of people are like, man, $10 is a lot. I'm like, just eat at home one meal and there's your $10.
Yeah.
I'm like, you eat like
True.
90, 100 meals a month. I mean,
Do you remember the Minnesota Whit Lowry concert?
yes.
Okay. And
I do.
We're meeting with him before
Yes, I
the
do.
show
That-
starts.
yeah.
And the people in front of us, they were on FaceTime. Or one of the girls was there, but she had a friend on FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like showing it to, Whit. And, Whit's like, hey, like, why aren't you here? And she's like, I didn't have the money. And he's like, literally just don't go to McDonald's one time a month. And
That's it? No,
you can
I
be
fully
there.
agree.
And it's true.
It's super true. Like people that get
Dave Ramsey shit.
people that get coffee every morning and they don't
Yep.
make it at home.
Yep.
And I'm gonna throw it to Graham
Especially those
Stephan.
fucking Starbucks people.
I'm gonna throw in Graham Stephan because he always preached the make your own iced coffee. And listen, I don't drink coffee, so I don't even have to deal with any of that shit. But I know the point of like if you spend like $5 a month or a day, let's say even $2 a day, that shit adds up quick. That's $700 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then they're like, oh, I can't afford that.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
only
just-
ever show the how much is cigarettes, how much do you waste on fucking cigarettes a year, and then that's like $1,000. Well, take out a fucking Egg McMuffin
yeah.
and a coffee
Well,
every morning
I
at
fully agree.
McDonald's, and boom,
I fully agree. And there's some people that
pack of smokes.
you got me on a little soapbox here, but there's some people that are like, oh, I don't have money for food, and I'm like, dude, don't eat out once a week, and you can live off $20 if you really wanted to. If you
just
really
need
wanted to
peanut
live
butter,
off $20, you
Tuna
could.
packets.
Definitely.
I mean, do I know because I feel like I have enough money I can live a better life, but I'm saying that there's some people that can't. If you get $20, you can get a carton of eggs for $1. You get a loaf of bread for $1. You still got $18 left, and right there, you just got 12 meals.
Oh yeah,
Man, 6 meals, even that.
worked at a grocery
But-
store for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Plenty.
It's
What else are you gonna get with
fucking
the
ridiculous,
$18?
yeah.
I mean, Christ. I mean, groceries can be cheap if you want them to be cheap. It's just when you go and decide, I'm gonna get steak, and it's like $35 a steak, and I'm like, well, there goes all
Get
your
round
fucking money.
steak. Suffer today so you can
Suffer today.
live high tomorrow.
It's all about
Okay.
yeah. That's Dave Ramsey.
That's Dave Ramsey.
There you go.
That's Dave Ramsey.
It's living.
Sign us. Move us down to Nashville.
I mean, I would not want to move down there, but like
I would love to move down
it would
to
be.
Nashville.
I like Tennessee. I don't know if I want to live like directly in the city. City's cool, but like okay.
Really
anyways,
lives in a suburb.
do not live above your means if you can.
Yes.
It's
No, yeah, you're right.
and
No, I
that's
agree.
like the one thing that I wish any high school teacher would have just like said. And
Don't get me on
I
that.
feel like
Don't even get me on the high school
a simple
subject. Just let's
speech
skip
would
over
have
it.
done. But like
We got a little bit of that when they played a Dave Ramsey video one time in my business class.
Yeah.
But like they never said, "Oh, hey, maybe we should actually pay attention to this guy." No. The substitute teacher was in that day.
so the sub can't teach, so they put Dave
Yeah.
Ramsey on, let him teach us about
Boom.
actual life and business. See, I listened to
Little
Dave.
gospel in there.
I listened to Dave Ramsey. Well, I watch him on YouTube, so but I technically
Oh.
just listen because it's
Yeah, his
not-
clips
okay.
are
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than his.
But I also listen to like the other side, the like extreme people who are just like give me as much debt as possible, and then I can like make my own conscious decisions about like how I should live my life. Because Dave is very safe, which is definitely the better way to go in
Right.
terms of like Dave is basically saying how you can get rich off just having your own money.
Yes.
And then
being a little smart with it. Not even smart, just
Yeah, just
A little
common
smart.
sense.
it's also important to have knowledge and actually, exploding your money and like getting ahead, but using Dave's tactics as well. Because Dave isn't going to be like, drop a bunch of money on
This
a
stock
loan
or-
or whatever. Get this huge loan if you can't pay it in cash or whatever like that. Which is like Dave's brand is being safe with it, trying to get people who are 50 grand in debt,
Yeah.
just got divorced, got 17 kids.
Yep.
They live in LA, trying to get them out of like wherever their current stage they're at. And honestly, listening to Dave Ramsey kind of makes me feel better about myself too, because I get to see
Oh yeah.
how awful some people
Yeah.
have it.
My favorite
Sounds
answer is when basically there is no answer outside of
Go to
when
Jesus.
there's when there's not when like you can tell them to do one thing financially, but there's just so much other. There's like such a big overarching problem. The wife left me. She's taking the kid. She's taking the kids.
She's taking the kid.
She's taking the kids. Can you get with your pastor?
Literally.
Can you find a
He
pastor?
does sometimes have to say that. He has to say, "Are you familiar with anybody who's a part of a church?"
Yeah, I mean,
and then they're like,
Sometimes
nope.
the fucking people need the Jesus talk,
They
man.
need to Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some wild stories about people who are like, my wife left me, but she's still living at home with her now boyfriend, and then he's got 5 kids who was living with us. He stole my
days.
car, like, but they're making me pay all the rent, kind of thing. And he's just like, how do you not see any of this?
How do you not
How
see
do you not just
any of the issues?
Actually, the last time I listened to Dave Ramsey, the dad was calling for his 25-year-old daughter. She's living in, I don't know, like St. Louis. She just got
Sorry, right there.
just-
St. Louis is not that great of a town.
well, wait for this, Matt. He's in like California. She just got a job, like her first job in a couple of years. Making $11 an hour. And Dave goes, okay, well, how much debt does she have? $70,000.
Holy shit! What the?
Matt, that's not the best part.
Hold on, okay,
And Dave
okay.
Dave goes, student loans? No.
Don't hold on. What is
Credit cards? No. Car loan? No. Medical.
medical?
Guess what? Guess what?
Plastic surgery?
No. Well, no. Had 6 kids.
Holy
What?
6
shit.
kids. She's like 25. She's had 6 kids. 6 different dads.
6.
Oh my
Oh my
6 different dads.
You think you would learn from
Just-
like even if you learn from the first 3, all right? It happens to you 3 times. 1, that's bad.
Apparently they're
But
all in the
the-
system. Dad's trying to track some of them down. He's doing his own stuff.
I feel bad for those
But
kids.
exactly.
Like really bad for those kids.
Exactly. But yep.
When I think about this deeper, right? So let's talk about the very first kid that she probably had. Okay, she's pregnant. She has the kid. She's got the kid in her arms, and she's thinking, you know what? I want to fucking do this again.
And then
She does it again,
now she has 2 kids in her
and
arms.
then she multiplies that by 3 times. She does 6 total times. She had.
Why don't people just wear condoms? Is that so fucking hard?
Dylan, I'm gonna be very blunt with you. Condoms aren't the way. It's gotta go through the rear end now. That's the
20.
only way.
It's 2020,
That's the
Dylan.
only way.
I mean, it's
People
2020.
eat ass.
Everything is, yeah. I
Zip
mean,
her up the other side, and then that's it. That's how the human race survives.
evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah, okay. Who?
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of kids.
To quote, just before, Matt, I'll let you,
Okay, all
I'll let
right.
you do this. To quote the great Little Yachty,
Oh,
I'm my mother's mother. I won't ever fuck a bitch without a damn rubber.
There you
Just needed to be said, Matt. What were you going to say before?
I don't even know, Dylan. I seriously don't even remember after that. That was such a great line that you put in there. Wow.
I was eating pork and rinds with this bitch from New York Times.
I remember
I
that
don't
one.
eat
I
no
remember
pork
that
and
one.
rinds, but that bitch was mighty fine. I mean, you give me anything that John Lennon, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, Avril Lavigne wrote, I'll take Little Yachty every time. Every time.
I mean, Rap is in a weird state right now.
I could agree with that.
I could have
of,
flipped you
like-
that.
Well, so before, rap back in, not way back in the day, but between years 2008 till 2013. Okay, it was in a time where if a rap song got big, it got really big and it stayed pretty big, right? We're talking like Prime, Lil
Yes.
Wayne, you know, stuff like that, right?
It was Eminem number 1, Lil Wayne number 2, and then just
Right.
kind of the
and
field.
It just sat because it's like you felt like you're getting a lot of value in it, right? Now, if a rap song gets big, it stays big for not very long.
month?
Okay,
2
and it's
months,
the same.
maybe.
Yeah, we had a good month with Old Town Road.
It's the
last year.
same with quote unquote viral posts on social media now. I feel like everything is just in a constant state of viral and nothing is actually viral. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where
Decently.
nothing, like the Charlie Bit My Finger YouTube video.
Yeah,
It's like
way
big
long
for a
ago.
couple
everybody
years.
knows it, and it's
Yeah.
it's such a stupid video, but that it was kind of the first of its kind. Now that there's been so many viral videos, and now you can make a meme out of anything,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it just nothing ever sticks. And so I'm curious to see what the next what the next step will be. You know how rap
For sure.
came into the scene as the new biggest genre. Eventually we're gonna get to something else in music or social media where
Yeah,
it's
and then with music, I mean, that's gone through its cycles just every decade. There's been
Right.
something new every decade. But with the memes or viral videos, I guess, what I want to say on that is it's not really. It seems like from what I see on social media, which is pretty much Instagram and TikTok and whatever I see on Snapchat, because I don't go on Twitter, it seems like it's just one type of meme, and then there's a lot of memes off of that meme. So, the Baby Yoda thing was big, but, there isn't one Baby Yoda meme that can resonate with everybody, but everybody can resonate with
a certain
the
version.
understanding of the meme, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you see it and you're like, oh, that's funny because it's Baby Yoda, or the SpongeBob has had how many, I swear, hundreds of different memes, and it's just a matter of, oh, it's this, it's SpongeBob with his hand on the rock, naked, catching his breath because Patrick Star was chasing him. But there's so many other SpongeBob memes, and you don't really resonate.
Leonardo DiCaprio
With-
has a couple too.
Yeah, and Titanic ones.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't resonate. Oh, I remember this meme because it said this. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, that meme's funny because that means this.
Do you remember the simple days when it was Bad News Brian?
Yes.
I remember
Oh
those
man,
days.
yeah, I
Those,
remember those.
iFunny days, kind of, where
Mm-hmm.
All the iFunny days were
I
great.
used to make some of them
I think
when we were running that NASCAR memes page, Matt.
Oh yeah. It's
Half the
still-
time, it wasn't even a NASCAR.
Were, Dylan. We still are. Not
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Not really.
I
We
think
It's
made
there.
one whole post this year.
I do
We
think
did.
people
advertising the pod.
Yeah.
people
Yes,
are
sir.
getting more creative in terms of being funny, openly, and the internet plays a part in but people like relatable content. So,
Yes, and that's exactly what I was gonna say.
if they can
It
relate
needs-
to it, it's
it needs to be, in order for it to be funny, it needs to be relevant or relate to somebody. I find it hilarious when people do I don't know if you're on TikTok, there's the please stand up for the Midwest National Anthem, and then they play the fucking Menards theme song, and I just think it's
Hilarious.
fucking hilarious because I love Menards,
That's awesome.
and that's basically my second home, and I have 2 homes,
Right.
and literally I'm counting that my second home because I just go there all the damn time.
you relate to that.
But I relate to that. That's why I find it funny. Or another thing is
Quick Trip had an anthem.
Quick Trip. That's the other thing I was gonna say. The Midwest ones are funny because they're relatable to me.
Fucking Quick Trip, their social media is savage.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Did you
It
see
is
the other
so
day they had
funny.
the Illinois one? Nope, not in Illinois. And then they went
So
and
funny.
year later, well, this one aged poorly. Hey Illinois, we're coming.
I do love Quick Trip, but it's funny because it's relatable,
Right.
and a lot of those memes that I see, it's something that God I don't even think about. Right? It's shit from, what was it? Oh, like there's a lot that was, every kid born in the 90s or whatever, and it was like 2 a.m. and then the fucking George Lopez theme song starts playing, and it's like on the background. I'm like, yeah,
that is so true.
It's so true, but that's funny because you relate to it, because it's hilarious because you can relate to it because you've done it. And I agree, because every time. It's just
every Friday night.
If I don't turn the TV off, that's what's on.
Yep.
Or it'll get you with the some of the Adult Swim stuff. Because I would watch a lot of Adult Swim. I would catch the King of the Hill, then the Family Guy, and then it would go on to Robot Chicken, and then I'd turn it off by about midnight.
Ooh, see now, I would watch a lot of Robot
11
Chicken.
o'clock.
And then Squidbillies.
I didn't like
Aqua
Squidbillies.
Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I love that one.
I hated when they canceled that.
I don't
didn't
know
watch
why.
Adult Swim for like a year.
I have
after
no
that. I was so
idea
pissed.
why I liked that one so much, but I did. I didn't
Shake.
like the Squidbillies.
Master Shake.
The fries.
Meatball.
Meatball.
I love Meatball.
Again, I don't know why.
Squidbillies is just
I did not like
retarded.
Squidbillies. It was just stupid to me.
Well, it's stupid, but like it's also, I don't know, it's kind of funny.
It is.
If I would have had a joint in my hand, it would have been a lot better, but I don't really do that.
I didn't.
I did not watch much Adult Swim growing up. I watched like, not that my parents were actively saying like you couldn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to.
I mean, that's fair.
Which is,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the few people who just didn't want to, but like I did watch like Family Guy, and like Family Guy was like
Family Guy was nice. Or I would
still a great
that
show.
one. Or
It's not that
I would,
great.
I
recently.
mean, listen,
Yeah,
it's
fine.
still
Or American Dad.
They've
it's
fallen
still
off. I like American
I
Dad.
like American Dad a
is
lot.
fucking weird, but it's funny.
I do like American Dad. I think Family Guy and American Dad are like the same. I mean, they literally are the same. They just have different characters. And then they made the Cleveland Show, which was pretty funny. And then they brought it back into Family Guy, which I feel like they had to do because like they make a spin-off show, and then it's like,
right.
I mean,
the guy who voices Cleveland still has to pay bills.
yeah. I also just love Seth MacFarlane.
He's phenomenal.
He is absolutely phenomenal. The amount of voices he can do, and he's constantly funny.
It's
Like, I think I saw him on the, what is that, the Graham Norton show? Did I say that right? There's a show over in Britain that they do, and he was on that, and he just can just whip out impersonations, and it's just unbelievable how he can just do that.
I am not. I think I've said this before, but I'm not a fan of stand-up comedy myself. I can tell when somebody is like good at it and bad at it, but I don't like sitting through it because it seems a little too structured for
It's
me.
weird.
It's
I have
like the point of like, so there's people in the audience, they're going there because they're looking for something funny, right? I'd rather just
right.
be humored because it's out of or in context of something, you know. I
Yeah,
don't want it
that's
to
fair.
be like preached at me.
Right.
I want it to just happen.
Yeah.
Which is very weird. That's fine. Like if people want to see it, that's fine.
And
if they want to go out and have a
I'll
good
say
time,
that
and, like see a stand-up comedian,
Emily and I have done that a few times. When we go out of town, that's one of the things we like to do is find a comedy club and go watch somebody. Now, usually they have 2 or 3 acts. Usually the first one's absolutely bad, just absolutely fucking awful. Like they have no material, and they're trying to feed off the crowd reactions. I remember this one guy. We were in somewhere in Minnesota. I don't remember if it was Duluth or the cities or wherever the hell we were. And this guy comes in. He's like going to announce the next person, and you could tell he didn't have content because he had a glass of water, and that was his out to think of a joke, and he was out of water by about 2 minutes, and it went on for about 10 minutes. So he sat there and just kind of swirled his glass and like kept looking at it. And there was a few times he just didn't. There's no water in there. He just went and like had a drink basically. And I'm
At
like,
that
there's
point,
nothing in your drinking there. It was so bad that he started getting into like
I'm out.
some really like dark shit. Like I don't even know some of the jokes, but they were really bad, and like none of them would
Anthony
land.
Jeselnik level dark, because you have to be a certain breed for that.
It was really dark.
Did you bring up Clapton's kid?
I don't know. I don't remember. Dylan, this was like almost a year ago. I don't remember. I try to forget this part of the show because it
Clumsy
was
little
bad.
scamp.
It was really bad, and I felt like he should have been done about 9 minutes of the 10 early because he only had about a minute of like okay, not even good, okay content.
Oof.
And then the next guy came on, and he was fine. And then the main act came on. The main act was pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say I went there and I absolutely laughed my ass off, but it was pretty good. When we went to
Not Dave Chappelle, but
no,
like
and then
a
we went
decent
to a
comedian.
different show earlier in the year, and that one was really good. The thing I like about it is that you show up, and I mean you're at like a high top table, and you just get a few drinks, and they serve you, and then you sit there, and it's probably about 2 hours for like it was $20 a ticket, and it was probably 2 or 3 hours, and I mean it was a good time. I mean it was pretty late. You sit there, have a few drinks, and I liked it because it was. I feel like if I'm gonna go out and have a few drinks, I don't want to sit there in a circle and sip a beer because I mean that's fun and all with the right people, but I would rather be out doing something. Like I would rather go to the bar and play around a pool and have some drinks than go out to a bar and just sit there and like listen to this super trappy music that nobody's dancing to because it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
They got Rihanna blaring.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
like a
like,
country bar theme.
I did see a comedian one time, and it was at the Resch Center.
was it? Didn't we go? Was that which one was that? Was
Jim
that Jim
Gaffigan.
Gaffigan? We went together for that. Well, did you go with Connor Jones?
Where's my
No.
invite?
I went with my
The
dad.
fuck?
Oh, I went with Connor Jones.
So I went with my dad.
I did
because
go to that.
My dad.
I was watching George
I think
Lopez.
we talked about it. Like we went.
Oh,
to the
we
same
did.
one, but we
We
didn't.
did,
actually
but we
go
didn't go together because Connor had extra tickets somehow, and he offered them to me and to you and whoever the hell else went. Couldn't even tell you because this was so long ago.
Not me.
So
And I do remember going to that.
So my dad has always really liked him, right? And I've never been like a fan of stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
like I said. I like what I did like about his is he told a lot of stories, which is cool.
Yes,
like
Yeah.
no, I fully agree
when
with
they
that.
when they tell stories versus like
Every 10 seconds is a different joke,
right.
or 30 seconds even say.
Like that's funny. Like storytelling is funny to me.
It is.
but like jokes is something different.
It is, and I'll go on that. When the first time we went with the bad opening, was a lot of that 2 minutes kind of I wouldn't say witty, but kind of you could tell there's a structure to it. And
Yeah.
the first time we went, which I enjoyed a lot better, it was a pretty small setting, and it was more of storytelling. And I'd rather have the 6 to 7 minute story, than and have one good joke at the end than 2 minutes of just kind of not good average jokes.
Yeah.
Because I remember the really funny ones and not the little
Yeah.
2 minutes of I mean, it was kind of funny. I'll laugh,
mean-
but that was really it.
Yeah, stand-up comedy. It's it's just a weird art form, and I don't honestly. I'd rather just listen to radio, a lot of podcasters that I listen to, like Adam Carolla. They'll do a live show, and it's just a live podcast where
Yeah.
they play off of a crowd, and that's way better than going to see some rando
Oh, yeah.
stand-up comedian.
Well, I'll also say this: I would rather listen
Unless it's
to
like Dave Chappelle, because that
Yeah.
dude's fucking hilarious.
I think-
or Jeselnik.
I would rather listen to Jake and Tanner in the morning than go and listen to anybody else because I don't know why, but those two are just naturally just fucking hilarious.
I
And-
wish Jake and Tanner had a podcast so I could listen later in the day because I never listen to them in
I
the
mean, they
morning because
do.
I'm listening to them.
They do.
They do?
You can subscribe to the podcast.
What the fuck? Is it just their radio show?
Yeah, they just cut out the commercials.
Jesus. Oh my god, that's the best part.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know that.
I had no clue. I listen to Bob and Tom in the morning
Really?
a lot. I fucking love Bob and Tom. Shit's hilarious.
Anyway, I love Jake and Tanner. I'm glad they came back to Green Bay.
I used to watch.
Thank you for burning out in Milwaukee, Jake and Tanner. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, because they're obviously fucking listening. You never know.
Someone is.
Yeah.
We got dozens.
I used to watch / listen to Mike and Mike in the morning all the time on like ESPN. That was every morning before school for like 6 years. Dude, in the metro, fucking good times, dude. I had some good memories in that metro. I slept with a woman in that metro somehow. I don't know how.
Damn.
It's just a tiny vehicle.
That is a tiny vehicle.
I'm not a big man, but
Yeah.
I'm 6'1". Like,
Dang. It's impressive. I remember you almost dying multiple times in that car.
dude,
Multiple.
I don't know. Yeah, that was not safe to drive.
Multiple. Do you remember?
Is that the
Sorry
one
to
that crippled
sidetrack.
Mississippi?
Sorry to sidetrack. But can I tell the story of the Corvette?
Go
Because
for
weren't
it.
you there for that?
Yep.
We went.
What about a Corvette?
Okay, so Chris's dad had a it's like a '97 Corvette. Nothing super fancy, but I mean it was still fast.
Is that the
right?
first generation where they like switched it back to respectability?
I actually don't think I.
Because
have
like
good
a lot
answer
of the
for you, Ryan.
'90s Corvettes were just disgusting, but like late '90s is
Yeah.
when they got the new generation.
It could have
and
been.
it became respectable again.
It could have been. So we were at Caitlin's, I think, actually, and we're in BFE Pulaski, and we're going to MacDon's, and we were.
That's the only place in Pulaski.
That is. I don't know if I was with you or if I was with Chris or who the hell I was with, but Chris decided to go through the Pulaski parking lot. So we're going down St. Augustine, turning left, right?
Mhm.
And Chris, decided to take a shortcut, right? Well, so I think we're in the metro.
Yep, we were in the metro.
And we're in the metro, and Chris beat us out, but there was another car that, like, came out of nowhere, and he, like, pulled in front of the car. I don't remember exactly how this happened, but somehow he almost hit this car. And then we were behind, and, like, we were about to, like, witness this happen. And, like, this metro probably couldn't stop if it wanted to at any reasonable speed. And we were pretty close. If I remember, we were pretty close to this happening. Like, right in front of this happening. And I think there was, I could be wrong, but I think there was another car in front of us, and Chris either didn't see the car or pulled out, and then he went into, like, the turning lane, and then the other car went past him. I could be wrong on that. This was like a good 5 years ago, I think this story happened.
What I remember,
but I don't exactly remember.
What I remember is we're on that. I don't know what that side road is called, right next to the high school there. But so yeah, we're on St. Augustine. We take a left. Right?
Oh, that's kind of B, yeah.
Yeah, so we're on B. They come out of the high school one, right, and they pull right in front of us. And then since they kind of had to turn, we were like right by each other, and we're like about to. We're hauling ass, right? And then some dude comes from behind us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
and then,
yeah.
Just fucking flies
That's
past
you're
both
right.
of us, but like
That's right.
almost hits.
I had the order wrong because you're right. Chris went behind or cut in front of us because he thought it was funny.
Yep.
Because he's like, oh, they'll stop, whatever. And I mean, granted, we probably would have, but still, it was kind of. So he went past in the passing lane. Because at that point, you could turn left to the high school, but they made the passing lane there. And then you're right, that other car came and just fucking smoked us, going like 20 over.
We didn't even
what we were going, and we were going fast. Right. Well, for the metro, we were going fast.
I mean, it's a 45 right there.
Yeah,
I
think
we were
we're
going
probably
at
like,
least 70.
Yeah,
like,
70. Yeah. And
metro tops out at 90. Like the speedometer doesn't go above 90.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
it was fast for the metro. All right, I knew. Yes. I knew it was something with somebody passing and cutting off, but I didn't have it all.
Yeah, that was scary.
But that was fucking
we almost
freaky.
died.
Yeah.
If we would have got hit, we would have died because that vehicle
metro
had
is no way.
zero padding anywhere on it. Like you're basically outside already.
It was like the Escort too. I would compare the metro to the Escort because the Escort was just as bad. It was bad to the point to where on the right rear, if you sat there, you could see the ground through the rust.
Oh my god!
It was that bad.
Oh my god!
Do you remember Cody Frank's Chevy S10 that he drove?
Oh, the fucking thing that wrecked my car a week after I bought it.
Hold up, before you tell that story.
Wait, okay.
It's all coming back.
There was no his driver's side. There wasn't a floor to it.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
He had a rug that he had taped. But if you lift up the rug, it was just you could see the ground. It was just a big hole. What?
Unreal.
That's incredible.
Unreal.
Yep, I remember that truck. I remember it well.
Dylan, do you want to I've heard the story quite a few times.
Please don't.
Do you want to briefly let us know what
So
happened?
I'm going to school one day.
What grade was this?
Oh well,
Let him know.
I just got Sarah Jessica Park Avenue. So
Well, enlighten people if they don't know what that is.
it's my 1999 Buick Park Avenue Silver.
Was that one of the Buicks?
It's up for sale right now if anybody's interested.
Is it really?
It is.
That's
It is.
news.
Wow, you're going down to one.
$400. $400. No one's gonna buy it for $400.
You might get
And you
more
can
on.
partially thank Cody Frank for that.
You
I
might
mean,
be
a lot of
better
other
on a
reasons,
trade-in
but-
than.
Yeah.
You probably would get more for a trade-in, honestly, than
True.
selling it.
True, but
Okay, keep going.
whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to school one day, and I go and I think I hopped on County C, whatever the road was, and I realized Cody Frank was behind me. So we're going to school. He's in back of me. I'm in front. So like we're speeding.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this. We're doing that. We're cutting down the back roads. We're fucking flying. I'm like going across the road, basically pretending to be a drunk driver at 6 a.m. We're just doing a bunch of dumb fucking shit. Because he knows that I'm in front, because I showed him my car beforehand. And he knows I'm in back. I know he's in back.
Yeah.
So we go, and everything's all fine, hunky-dory, until we pull up to the high school. So we pull in. I'm going to the student parking. I don't really have a spot back there, but Cody had a spot in the far back.
Oh yeah, that was the truck. Whatever
That
they
was
call it.
where you
Yeah.
rev the engines.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I was gonna be outside the revving zone. So anyway, we go and we just skirt right into the parking lot, and I go to park my car. So I'm gonna turn left into this open spot. So I go and I slow down. I slow down to about 5-7 miles an hour because I'm fucking parking. And I start turning to the left. And Cody Frank in that fucking S10 decided to try to pass me by going to my left. He tried passing me in the left as I was turning. And all of a sudden, before I know it, I see this white fucking S10 blow by me and my headlight just follow him. And then I go and I just stop and I'm like, what? And then I go and I look over and I park in the spot, and who's just sitting there, mouth wide open? Rory Sarnich. He's just doing that. So I park the car, I fucking run up to Cody. I'm pissed.
You lost the headlight.
And he just I picked up my headlight first.
Oh, okay.
And he just calmly gets out of the car, and I'm right on him. I am at this point in my life probably 40 pounds.
Dylan. This is cross country
Yes.
Dylan. Right? Cross country
Yeah.
Dylan?
Oh yeah, I'm 160, but I'm fairly tall. And he at this point is just all creatined up.
Oh yeah. He's big lifter at that
Oh.
point. He is fucking let's work out
Big lifter
3 times
guy.
a day.
But yeah, I can share some stories about that. But anyway, I'm right on him, and I'm like, what the hell? And he just calmly, Dylan, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've
Oh, come on.
And I'm
No, you
how
can't
am I
be
dumb?
serious.
How am I dumb? I'm in front of you and I'm turning into a spot, and you try to pass me the way that I'm turning after I start turning. And then it becomes this crisis, because Cody's been one of my best friends since the 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Do I turn him in? Do I have to claim this on my insurance? I got this car 2 weeks ago. A week or two before.
It's never been the same since.
So I go and
Dylan, at that point, we can statistically see that after that incident, the Buick has gone downhill.
The Buick has gone downhill. My friendship has gone downhill. But yeah, just, you can trace it all back to that point. So I'm just sitting there the whole morning do I turn in my buddy? Or do I let him get away with murder? What do I do? So I finally decide, you know what? I'm just gonna. I gotta do it. So I go down to Tinlin, Officer Tinlin,
I forgot.
high school officer, and I tell him what happened. The liaison. And I tell him what happened, and I tell him, well, Rory witnessed the whole thing, and he's like, well, why are you reporting it like 4 or 5 hours later? And I'm like, well, because, sir, like, this is my best friend, and
I wasn't sure if
my car's ruined, and I got it like a week and a half ago, and I don't know what to do. Like, can you help me out? And he just, I don't know if like he had a donut waiting or what was up. But he just kind of gave me this mushmouth answer and then told me to leave. And then like I went back like the next period and he said that he looked at the cameras and if I wanted to like do something with the insurance, he was just going to say it was an act of God.
What?
It was
an act of God for him being stupid?
I'm like,
what?
You can see him turn. And he's like, well, Dylan, you have to understand, you didn't report it right away. And I'm like, there's a witness. There's a witness. He didn't want to talk to Rory. He knew.
He didn't want to work, is what it was. He's like,
he knew Rory. Rory's a very, very funny person.
He is.
Just naturally.
He really
but
is.
But he also can border on the annoying to a 60-year-old cop that doesn't really want to do anything. So I don't think he ever called Rory in.
I don't think, I guarantee.
And basically I had to have my buddy Gavin repair the headlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to buy the headlight.
What an absolute story that was.
And then, it was a scandal. It was a scandal. It was a full-on scandal.
An absolute scandal. I don't think I've had anything like that happen to me. I mean, I rear-ended somebody in the Cobalt, but that was minor.
I fucked up a dude's like rim in the McDonald's parking lot one time.
You rolled a fucking car in Tower Drive.
In Pulaski. I
just
did
ended
that too.
at that.
I did that too.
What else do you need to say?
But this one might be a little more impressive because
how could anything ever top the fact
that I had
rolled
a free cheeseburger coupon for McDonald's.
How does that
and it
top
expired
you
that
a car?
day? So I go and I whip
Unreal.
in with old Sarah Jessica Park Avenue. Yep. I'm going to call it that every time. But anyway, so I go and I pull in, and there's this really, like, there's Ford Tauruses, and then there's, like, them when they tried to remake the Taurus into a luxury car.
I know exactly what
you mean. So there's, this really, really nice, like, red Ford Taurus. Dare I say it, a little nicer than Rusty's.
No, nothing.
I mean, it's not. I mean, with the paint scheme and everything, it can't be nicer than Rusty's.
Done deal. Keep going down.
But anyway, so I go and I pull in, but a Park Avenue is a fucking land boat. Like it's way too big. It's way too big. It's like the last. It's not even a full size.
Yeah.
They call it an executive size.
Oh. Hold on, executive.
That just means, you're trying to park it like a full size? Well, that means you're going to hit this dude's rim. I hit his tire rim trying to pull in. And, there's little old me just fucking painfully antisocial. And he's in the car. This dude's in the car.
Damn.
Oh, what an L. He's in the car, too.
So he goes and he hops out and he's pissed on. I give him the, can I park and then I'll get out and talk to you? So
yeah, like to give me a sec,
yes,
dude. I know
yes,
I'll get out. Just
yes.
let me figure my shit out for a
second. So we go and we got out and I just apologized and whatnot. We had to go into McDonald's. We sat at a fucking booth. He yelled at me for about 20 minutes. He called the police officer. He went to the bathroom. The lady that was right in the other booth is like, "Don't let him fuck you over. Don't let him fuck you over. Like, he's just a mean guy. He'll get you. Like, don't let him bully you. Like, just deny, kind of shit."
Yeah.
So the cop goes, gets there, assesses the damage or whatever. But I'm just sitting with this guy while he's assessing. And we're talking, and eventually we bond over our hatred of Hillary Clinton. And he goes and he gives me the business card that he has. He sells, of course, industrial magnets. He's one of those dudes.
Oh, okay.
And he's in he's in on business, and of course it's a lease and it's brand new and the company paid for it, but he wants to buy it after. And he's giving me that whole spiel. And yeah, just
what came out of that?
I did get my free cheeseburger.
That's what matters, right there. That's all I needed to know.
You want to know what?
Your free cheeseburger.
We were there for like 2 hours.
Did you get another cheeseburger?
Well, no. We sat for like a half an hour and he bitched at me before. Then the cops there's something with the Pulaski cops. They just don't want to fucking work.
Well,
it took them like
what else
took
do
them
they
forever.
have to do, Dylan? That's like their probably highlight of the night. They're probably like, we gotta make this last as long as possible, or we're gonna be
took them forever.
In the future, Dylan, what you should do next time is
this is the future. That was like
in the future,
5 years ago, maybe
5, yeah, probably.
In the future, Dylan, don't talk to the other person. Call the cops right away. Let them assess it. Then it is what it is.
Hindsight is 2020. Yeah. But yep,
that's pretty much what I did on
cheeseburger.
mine. When I re-rented that person, it was on Webster, right out of I was turning right, if you know where the CP Center is.
Yep.
I was turning right to go on, that'd be the north of Webster, and it was like, I don't want to say rush hour because we don't really have a rush hour in Green Bay, but it's more busy at that point. It was like 4 o'clock, 4:30. And I go to turn right, like I'm looking left. Okay, I'm good, right? And then I was really slow to look to the right, and I kind of gassed her. And then, like as I was kind of giving her, because I was late to go somewhere, I was like, oh shit! And then I like as I turned like to look right, I don't know why I just didn't register, and then I like hit the brakes and I rear ended this lady, and I got out and I'm like, fuck. She got out and then started bitching at me. I'm like, all right. We're in the middle of the fucking road. Like, let's go onto an on-ramp, and we'll figure this out, right? I mean, I'm going to the fucking on-ramp. You can follow me or not. That's where I'm going. So we got onto the on-ramp. This would then be the 20 or the 172 East on-ramp, and I just sat there. I got out. I looked at my own damage, and I'm like, all right, so I'm not getting this fixed, right? So I'm like, I'm not fixing this because it's not worth it for the cold ball, right? Yeah. So I sat there. She was I kind of gave her the option. I'm like, all right, do you want to call the cops? How do you want to handle this? She's like, well, I work at the brown car, so some. We're calling the cops. I'm like, all right, whatever, fuck. I'm not gonna, at this point, I'm not even going to argue. Just call the cops, whatever. Call the cops. They show up. They assess it. I give them the insurance information, and then that was the end of it. And then she called me. I don't remember how exactly it worked out, but basically I said, get a quote, tell me how much it's going to cost, and I'll let you know if I want to go through insurance or not. And that's what we did, and it ended up being, I think, like $800. And I'm like, I'll just pay cash. I don't feel like fucking with my insurance right now.
Yeah. I mean, long term, it's probably better to pay with cash because, like...
I told myself, I'm like, if it's more than $1,000, I'm going through the insurance because at that point it would just be easier to go through the insurance because my rates would go up, but at the matter of like it's like $20, I'm like, they'll go down in like 2 years anyways, or 3 years or whatever. I'm like,
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the money that you have on hand too. Like, is it
Well,
worth
true.
it to? It might be more worth it even if insurance
go
would
through
be
the
expensive
insurance.
long term
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have to fork up that $100,000 right
Well,
away.
right.
But I mean, kind of depends. Like
Regardless,
on the money that you have.
that's how that situation played out. I've never been involved in any other incident. Knock on wood there. I've gotten pulled over before, but I've never gotten any sort of speeding ticket.
Really?
Yes. I thought I told you guys this story. This was, oh man, this was like pretty recent after I got my license. I mean, I got it in like November, and this was probably the February after. No, I mean, it was probably a year and a half after. So this would have been February of 2015, I think. I was with, I think, Chris and Derek, and we went to Culver's, and we went to the Culver's on Hanson Road there.
Okay.
And I think we went and saw a movie, and we went there after, or something happened. I don't remember. And I was getting back on the highway, and this is like peak of the construction on 41, right? So this is like barrier two lane, right? The only way a cop's sitting in the median is if they're on the on-ramp, or they're behind you, right? So I am absolutely fucking bopping down 41 north, right? And I'm trying to go home. At that point, the on-ramps for 29 were done. So I was trying to get to the on-ramp, and I was going over Lombardi, and I'm not kidding you. I think I was going 75 in a 55 because it was construction, right? So I'm cruising, right? And the Escort had a light out. So I am cruising, and this cop's getting on the on-ramp, and Chris was in front of me. I think Chris was in front of me, and Chris saw the cop and slowed down, and then basically sacrificed me. And I got pulled over before the on-ramp, but after the Mason Street exit, if you know, like that little stretch there. Cop comes up. I get pulled over. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take it. What the fuck can I do? All right. I'm like, I can talk myself out of the light because I had the light in the back of my. I bought the light but didn't install it yet. So like I had the extra light, the headlight, in like my back seat. So I'm like, I can talk my way out of that. I'm not talking my way out of the speeding ticket. I'm like, it just fucking is what it is. 20 over, yeah, just give it to me, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll deal with it. Whatever. It's gonna be like 8 points or something. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Construction.
Yeah. So the guy like runs up to the car, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, fucking running, dude. And he's like, what do you say? Like, count your blessings. You got really lucky. Fix your headlight. I got to respond to a different call. And then fucking ran back to his car, zoomed off. And I seriously was in so much shock.
Oh my god.
I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Nothing. I got a verbal warning. Nothing is on my record for that.
Oh my god.
Not a thing.
Holy shit.
I was 20 over in a construction zone.
Definitely not a Pulaski cop.
Oh, yeah. It was a county cop, I think. 20 over in a construction zone with a headlight out. And I was... I was just like, baffled. I'm like, I'm absolutely just fucked. Because everything's doubled in the construction zone.
One time, I was with Roman Stocco. This was years ago, back in high school, when I was dating Morgan. So, like, we traveled for soccer, right?
Yeah.
So, Roman's driving. I'm in the front seat. Construction zone. Normally, it's like a 65.
Yeah.
But they've got it down to like a 55.
Yep.
Roman's going fucking 80.
Oh, shit.
Do this thing,
He
okay?
is that, like...
And sure
isn't
enough...
that like a felony?
Sure enough, cops sitting right there, pulls us over, never gets out of the car, right? All of a sudden another cop comes,
Oh, no.
and so they send both the cops, like, to, like, both sides of the vehicles or whatever, and they, like, ask for both of our IDs, and we're just, like, freaking out, like, what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and they, like, took Roman out of the car, and they're, like, asking him questions, you know, like, whose vehicle is this, and it was, like, his stepmom, so that made it complicated,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
and, like, it was just very wild, and Roman got a fucking fat ticket.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm talking, like, $900,
Holy fuck, that's
And he
triple
had
my
a-
39.
and,
Yeah.
he had to go to court, and, like...
Oh, that's a, like,
because,
mandatory... Isn't
it's-
that, like, a felony?
I don't
know what the speed limit
I think
really
that
is.
gets into,
I
like,
have no
the
idea.
felony gray area.
I think
like,
that's like that could be considered a felony, and like
So-
that's the like you kind of don't have an option if you don't go to court. You're absolutely fucked. They're gonna
Like-
take your license and try and
There
give you, like,
was...
a ridiculous ticket.
There was another time I wasn't with Roman, but I was with Brett DeGrave, and we're in Pulaski, okay? And we're where you know where Figaro's Pizza is,
Yes.
that road that's right
Yep.
in front of it, whatever. So we're in Brett's stepdad's Mustang, okay?
Oh, God.
Pretty
Yeah.
nice Mustang.
Yeah.
Brett it's like 11 p.m. Really nice out. We got the top down,
Yeah.
and we're just chilling, right? Brett's going like 65. It's like a 35 right there. Just
Naturally.
right, and sure enough, cop sitting kind of right by Figaro's. So, you know, all of a sudden lights pop on. Brett's like, all right, I'm pulling to the gas station. Cop pulls up, and Brett's just like, yeah, dude, I was totally speeding. Just let me know what the damage is. And cop is like, give me a second. Comes back like 2 minutes later, and he's like, we'll let you off with a warning. Just want to make sure that you're driving safe because there's a lot of deer out. And then cop just takes off. Dude, it's going 65.
Unreal. Unreal.
Brett was like, he wasn't like scared. He was just like, yep, I'm getting smacked for this one. And
There's sometimes
they didn't
when
care.
like
they just
mine
didn't care.
like when I got pulled over, I was like,
Why
I'm
the
fucked.
fuck do
I might as
cops
well
hate
just take
me?
it. They see a Buick and they're just like, yeah, fuck this
They
guy.
pull me over. They
They
see
just see a Buick and they're like, oh,
they say
fuck this Buick.
they see the teenager with the dented up Buick and just no respect. I get no respect.
I think you just need a better car.
That
Why
is
don't
the
you
thing.
Dylan, trade both the Buicks in and get a new car?
Fuck no.
Oh wait, you can't. You quit Festi.
Huh?
What?
Oh yeah, I did that. But like also that was just a second job. But
That's fair. You can work for
I've had to tell
Big
every
Daddy
single
D.
person that I've ever
you work for Big Daddy D.
yeah.
Big Daddy DV.
But I want to take this back. Why the fuck do cops hate me? They're pulling me over. They're fucking.
Because you fucking roll the car on Tower Drive Bridge.
They're
You
giving
have
me-
it coming,
They're giving me
Dylan.
too fast for conditions tickets. That bridge.
That's because you fucking
bridge
roll
is
the car on Tower
17
Drive
That
Bridge.
bridge is 17 feet lower than it was when it was originally constructed. That bridge is a fucking pile. That's gonna be on the news one day when that whole fucking thing collapses, Matt. The whole thing's collapsing. I hit an expansion joint, or the expansion like area that they had to repair all that shit on going northbound, in the middle of a fucking tsunami. In the middle of a fucking tsunami.
There is no tsunamis in fucking Green Bay, Dylan.
There was that day, Matt.
It's impossible.
There was that day.
Absolutely impossible.
They're giving me tickets for that shit. They're giving me tickets when I lost a wheel. Like, my wheel broke off of the Buick one time. And I spun out. And I'm looking at the wheel, and of course the cop pulls up because, like, someone else is calling 911 for me. I'm just sitting there like, how the fuck am I gonna pay for this? Like, I'm in that sweet spot where I'm too poor to buy a different car, but I'm too poor to afford this repair.
Yeah.
So basically, my only option is sell my body, which luckily didn't end up happening. But I mean, it was a real possibility at that point. But yeah, so there's that one, and then like I'm getting breathalyzed at like 1 a.m. for being responsible and having my buddy take me home. But I fuck that cop because I blew a 0-0, and I was so fucking drunk. I was in the back seat of my own car.
What?
It was me and my buddy Jared in the back seat, and we had crutches laid over us because we made our buddy, who just had surgery on his hip and couldn't drink because he might die with, the meds and everything that they had him on.
But they had him drive on the man?
But we still made him drive. We made him drive us, and we got so shit-faced at this party. I mean, like, it was a party like right after school ended for a bunch of college kids. So they were bringing in their Sprite bottles filled with vodka that they snuck from their RA, and we drank, like, between me and Jared and like maybe one other dude, we drank like an entire 2-liter bottle of like vodka with a lot of mixers, but I mean we would take a tug right out of it too. We were pretty sus. But I blew a 0-0, Matt. I blew a 0-0. And I even told the cop, and I'm like, just as he's putting the breathalyzer thing in, and then he keeps telling me to breathe in. And I was also the first one to go, so the breathalyzer's a little iffy. And I'm just sort of breathing in, and then it came back 0-0. And the cop was like, appalled.
Yeah, because it was wrong.
The cop was like, appalled. And then he went over to Jared, and Jared blew the limit. So he had Jared get out of the car. He had him, like, walk and all that shit. And then he made him... Jared, he's smart. He whipped out his, like, military ID badge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So all he had to do was call his mom at 1 a.m.
Well, hold on.
I guess if you're 19, you still have to call your mommy.
This is my question. So why did he have you guys get out of the car when somebody else was driving you guys home anyway?
Well, we were all underage. And it was 1 a.m, and I had a headlight out.
Oh, the fucking headlight, Dylan. God, that's why you always have the bulb. Oh, I got the headlight here, right here, sir.
Well, I didn't know that one.
Darn.
But anyway.
How'd you have a headlight when Cody fucking ripped it off the car anyway?
Well, that was like 2 years after.
If
That was like 5 incidents ago, man.
Next time, if you know you're super fucked up and the cop is gonna breathalyze you. You just tell them you don't want to do it. You spend
You
the night
deny
in jail.
everything. Oh, I agree
Spend
with
the
that.
night in jail.
You deny everything.
Don't deal with it because that DWI is gonna cost you $10,000
Minimum
and
10
it's gonna
grand.
prolong fucking for a year and
Everything.
I'll end up like
Everything-
John.
If you feel like there is no chance, like if you know, like, okay, I know I wasn't drinking, I'll be able to do this, then
Right.
go through with it, fine. But if you even, honestly, even if you have like 2 beers and you're like, you know what,
Spend the night in jail.
I'm taking the fucking night and you deny everything. That's not the first time I've heard that. I got told the same thing. I'm like, if you deny everything, they have nothing to go off. They have no evidence. They just say whatever and then that's it. You just spend, it's going to suck, but the one night is going to suck less than the year and a half
Criminal.
after.
Gonna hang out with the criminals, Sam.
I mean, I don't think he'll be in holding cell. I think he'll be in prison.
Well, now he is, but I mean him and his brother, and dude, it's insane how many fucking people that we went to high school with have run afoul of the law.
Here's another thing that's actually crazy. How many people have fucking kids already and are married?
It's insane.
Amanda
it's fucking
Riddle's
ridiculous.
kid is like 3, isn't she?
Who's?
Amanda. I don't know when she had it.
I think
I
she
could be
found out just before. So I mean, honestly, if you're just
I thought it was.
It was
I
just
thought
before
everything
you
happened
graduate.
after. But with people getting married, it's like shit. The fuck, guys! Like,
bro, it's wild, and like some of them have been together for like 9 years, so that's perfectly fine.
and some only 4 months.
And I mean, some are happy surprises. Like, I have a buddy who he already had he was engaged and he had a mortgage, and then him and his fiance found out they were pregnant. That's perfectly fine. They're they're in it for the long haul together. But like, the amount of people that, hey, we dated for 4 months. Would you look at this pregnancy test? Like, what
And
the
then
fuck?
Wait a minute. I don't understand how people are willing to jump into long-term situations like that. How do people feel comfortable saying, okay, so if you date somebody for 1 year and then get married,
Mm-hmm.
sure, you had a good 1 year together, but like, how do you know you want to spend the next 60 years of your life with somebody if you've only
Yes.
known what the 1 year is?
Or spend 5 years with them and then give up half your shit.
It's like, I can't wrap my head around it. I want to, but it's like, I really gotta fucking,
Yeah.
I gotta know.
I've never really had a long-term relationship, but like,
What do you call your right hand, bro?
I use my left. But like, I would never just date somebody for 6 months.
Divorcee number one. New wife.
If I get mad, I mean, what are you gonna do? Leave me, lefty? Are you gonna leave me?
Are you left-handed, Dylan?
Yeah.
You are.
Oh fuck yeah.
I honestly didn't even know that.
I mean, honestly, I
I knew
bat,
that.
I bat,
So
and I golf right, but like other than that, I'm a lefty.
I mean, I'm right, but I do things left-handed.
I do everything. I do everything right-handed.
I play hockey left-handed, I guess.
Weird.
Granted, I don't play hockey a lot, but I mean, I was told that I do that left-handed.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't golf.
I just
but
when you
golf
take it up,
better
it just I don't know.
right-handed. Well, I think I was right-handed, but I went and yeah, that's too long of a story. I'm not going to tell it. But yeah. What are you going to do? Leave me lefty?
I mean, you could just chop your arm
Just
off. I
sit
could get
there, just
what is it?
cuck it.
Butcher knife.
I'm
And
going
just
to cuck my left hand.
127
right.
hours that shit.
This is
Yeah.
very random, but it kind of goes with you cutting off like your hand. I watched a movie on Netflix the other day, and it's called Hardcore Henry. Have you ever seen it?
No.
The entire movie is shot in first person.
Really?
It's like a guy running around with a
Interesting.
GoPro, okay? And it's almost like a campaign mission in like a video game, right? It's action packed, and it is so bad that it's almost good because of how terrible it is. Gets especially good at the end.
It's my
like
kind of
It's like
movie.
John Wick if John Wick was in first person, and instead of
John
like
Wick had a
guns,
GoPro.
it's like random shit. Okay, it's like you don't really know what to expect of it right away, if it's serious or funny, but like you should watch it. It's an entertaining hour and a half. But at one point, all I'm gonna say, so the guy can't talk, right? He's like half human, like half robot. And without spoiling too much of it, at one point, the evil bad guy says something to
evil
him.
bad guy.
Says something to him, and since Hardcore Henry can't talk, you know what he does? He takes the blood that's on his hand, smears it on the wall, and writes "easy." Are you kidding me?
the fuck?
The best. Dylan, you specifically will love this movie. Me, it's like the first hour of it was painful. Last half hour was pretty amusing.
Missing Real first episode, Dylan.
Missing
Watch
Real
the
first
movie.
episode.
Watch the movie, Dylan.
We doing a
There you go.
backdoor pilot next week on this feed?
Dylan, I have too much shit going on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say no to that.
Once I get my podcast equipment,
I would rather
It'll be
probably
more
drive
flexible.
to Kimberly and
Bro,
When are
deal
we
with-
gonna see your place?
bro. Dude. The thing is, so here's my thing. Here's my only thing.
We won't party. I won't ruin the place.
Being that
Oh, it's Chris.
I am a property manager there, I do not want to take the risk of like getting a noise complaint about myself.
Oof.
Do you know how bad
I
that
fully
would look?
understand that. Yes, I
If-
fully understand
if
that.
people submit a noise complaint about me and I'm the one who's taking care of the noise complaint, I'm
We'll leave
really,
Josh at home.
I'm no better than anybody else. Like I have to also follow the rules.
Yeah.
Okay?
No,
Because
yeah.
I also live there, and other people should, also be promised a quiet environment. So when we raise our voice like this, which is fun and all, it can,
So we're better off to do it at my place again.
So where are you gonna host your podcast?
I would say. See, I would host it at my place, but we'd have to make sure we're quiet. And plan B is Sam Willikit has his place that he's always offering up. So, and it's kind of the same
place.
setup. He stays in like his basement. He's got
Yeah.
like a little setup down there that he does for it. Very like quiet. Lives in a house, so like, But
Or you could just do it in the basement 2.0.
the new Rusty Wallace Studios.
That's what I'm saying.
Basement 2.0.
see, I want to make sure that I get also my own equipment, and hopefully, this equipment would be able to handle multiple mics as well. So
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna figure that
Yeah,
out.
we
Just
need to.
not now.
I really want
Just
to
not
figure
now.
that out. Yeah.
Listen, I agree. I
wanna
fully
just
agree.
Pull that mic close
I fully agree. It's just
and say
give
sweet
me
nothings
more
into it.
than 24 hours a day, and I could probably get time to do it.
yeah, days are getting shorter and shorter.
Mhm.
I feel like it.
They are you just take on more responsibilities. Adult life.
Oof.
Sam. Adult
Oof,
life.
That's rough.
It is rough. Well, I think that's a good place to end the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we will catch up on all the NASCAR news we didn't talk
Yep.
about this week,
Talladega and the Roval. Can't
and then
wait.
it'll be round 8, baby.
Whew.
I'm excited for that.
Best time of the year.
Missing reel, missing gear, collide, Talladega Nights, right in the middle.
That's what I'm saying. That should be our pilot episode. That should be our we should do a backdoor pilot episode on this feed. The first week after the NASCAR season ends, we
Second
bring
week.
you in.
We gotta
Yeah,
talk
okay.
one recap.
Well, we're
season.
gonna so like
Fine.
our plan for the off season is now we're just getting off schedule. But I'm keeping the fans in touch. I'm letting Gear Nation know what's happening. But
finding the gear.
finding the gear. But yeah, I am finding the
Gearheads.
gear.
Yeah.
Gearheads.
Okay.
I like Gear Nation better. But anyway, so we do it every other week. We should do it every other week in the off season. We'll try to have a very nice prepared show. And we do Talladega Nights. It's you, Sam, me. We could probably bring Josh in. We all go, we watch the movie once or twice. We take some notes, write some favorite quotes and stuff, and we just come into the studio and we crack a couple of beers and we just fucking go for an hour talking nothing but Talladega Nights.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
Next week, again, more NASCAR. Rate, subscribe, follow us on YouTube. Whatever Dylan usually says at this point. Merch.
Email us. You
Somehow
know the email.
Dylan's making merch. So
I am making merch, so like if If you want a T-shirt,
Email.
our 3 T-shirts that I gave out are gone now. But if you would like one, I think that if you say,
Email again, and
"Hey,
Dylan will give you
Dylan,
one.
I'm your number 1 gearhead," I'll send you one.
All right. I'll talk to you guys next week.